All right, hello everyone. My name is Snap, and today I will be crocheting with you. I have a request to show you how to do granny squares, so I'm going to start with that, and then we will move on to fun and exciting things like the reverse shawl mentioned in the title. I've pinned a pattern for a granny square up in chat if you want to follow along there. If you don't, that's okay. I'm going to be explaining what I'm doing step by step, and I'm going to be modifying the pattern as well, so I'm not going to be following it like to the letter. I feel like I just heard my dog come in the room. Alright, oh, yep, he did. He just touched my leg. Alright, so there's two ways you could start after you have your worsted weight yarn and your 5mm hook. I've got a 6. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I've got 6 because that's all I've got down here right now. I keep a lot of my crochet stuff upstairs in the living room, and I'm down in the basement. I should probably move that stuff, but you know, such is life. Alright, so there's two ways you can start. You can either start with 2 chains, or you can start with a magic circle. I'm going to show you how to do a magic circle. If you don't get it, don't worry about it. We'll just move on to the 2 chains. So you've got a lovely line of yarn, and you take the end, and you don't need very much of it, and you wrap it around your finger from back to front. So just like that. You pinch it where it meets itself with your thumb and your middle finger, and you slide it off your middle finger, insert your hook into the middle of that hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, make a chain. Congratulations, you have just made a magic circle. Because we're going to be doing granny squares, which start out with double crochets, you're going to chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet. You yarn over, go through the middle, pull up a loop, yarn over, all that fun stuff to make a double crochet. If I'm going too fast, let me know. And then you make another one. So you've got a total of 3 stitches, 3 double crochets here. It's really 2 and a chain 3, but it counts as 3. Then you're going to chain 2, and then go back into that middle, making sure that this tail stays touching his friend, so that when you're going through the middle, you're also like going under him. That way, when you're done, you have a little tail you can pull, and it will pull tight, and you will have a much smaller circle. And that's why it's called the magic loop, is you magically are able to decrease this center ring, or it's also called a magic ring or a magic circle. So you do 3 double crochets again, 2 and 3. So now we've got 2 clusters of 3. You do another chain 2, go into the middle, make yourself another cluster of 3. We're going to be doing a total of 4 clusters of 3, just like how a square has 4 corners. Ah, maybe we're getting a hint as to what we're doing. All right. So 1, 2, and 3, another chain 2, and your last, I'm just pulling it a little tighter, your last cluster of 3. Go ahead and let me know if you're lost, or if I'm going too fast, or if I need to go back and show you how to do the chain 2 method. There's no shame in asking for help. Alright, so we've got our last chain 3. You can see she's already, last group of 3. You can see it's already starting to look like a square. All it needs is its last corner. So you make 2 final chains. Then you go over here to this top chain from when we chained 3, and you do a slip stitch. Just a itty bitty little slip stitch. And there you have it. You have a square. This is the beginning. Now you just pull your end tight, and once you're done, you'll be able to either, if you want, you can either use your yarn needle to sew in this end and then trim it, or if you want, you can trim it just the way it is. It is going all the way through and under all of your stitches, so it's totally fine to just trim it right now if you want. I go ahead and I leave them till the end. Alright, so now technically we are in a corner. Well, technically we're in the first stitch. I do not worry about such things. So we go down and we figure we're in the corner. Or no, sorry. Yeah, we're in the corner, and instead of making 2 clusters in the corner like you would normally, we're going to do 1 cluster. So you do 1 cluster, chain 1. And go into the next chain space, and you make another cluster of 3. Alright, you chain 2, because we are in the corner now. We started with half the corner because we're going to go all the way around and finish in that corner as well. So to complete a corner, you chain 2, just like we did below, and you do your 3 double crochets, and now you chain 1. This will be how this pattern grows. This chain 1 will have a cluster of 3 in it next round. And so every time you have a chain of 1, you do 1 cluster of double crochets. When you have a cluster of 2, you do 2 clusters. Sorry, when you have a chain of 2, you do 2 chains of, 2 clusters of double crochets. Oh my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied. So there we go. We've completed both clusters. We're getting there. Make chain 1, and then on to the 3rd corner. If I can get my hook to cooperate with me. Technically, this is size 3 yarn that I'm using, so everything I'm doing is kind of exaggerated with this yarn because it's smaller than size 4 and the hook is larger than size 3, so it's just all kinds of wonky. Next time I'll be better prepared. This was kind of like a last minute request. Alright, completed one cluster of double crochets. Now I've completed 2 with my chain 2 in the middle, chain 1, and that brings us back to the corner we started in. We're going to make a cluster of double crochets, so 1, 2, 3, and then you chain 2 because this is the corner, and because you are ending here, you go ahead and you just stick your hook in there and you do a slip stitch, and now you've got 2 rows of your granny square. Look at that, so cute, such a cutie little guy. And that's all there is to it. So you chain 3 to start out, you go behind that chain 3 from last round to make your first cluster. Some people prefer to slip stitch across, so they'll slip stitch here and here to get them into this chain space, but I don't mind how it looks when I go this way, and I don't like the thickness that you end up with when you go that way. So chain 1, because we're not in a corner, we're along the side. We have a chain 1 space here, so we make 1 cluster of double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then you chain 1, and now we're in the corner. So you make 2 clusters of double crochets with a chain 2 in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2 chains, and then back into that same chain space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, because we've got a chain 1 there. Oop, the yarn over. And then you do your double crochets here. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, because you have finished a middle and you want to make space for another middle following this. So you're looking to create exponential growth. Alright, that's just a little bit of math. There's a lot of math involved in crocheting, which is terrible. Personally not a fan of the math part. So we're in the corner, so we're doing our 2 clusters of double crochets with a chain 2 in the middle. And then we do another chain, and we go a chain 1, and we go into this one lonely little chain 1 space in the middle and do our cluster. And then you chain 1, and you do the corner. So what do we do in the corner? That's right, 2 clusters with a chain 2 in the middle. Good job. Chain 2. Oh, someone's trying to contact me. And then we've got the last of that cluster. Chain 1 into the middle. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. All right, so we're back to the starting corner. So we do one cluster because we already did one when we started this round. These are rounds because we're going around the square. So you do one cluster, you chain 2, and you just slip stitch, which is always the bane of my existence, just slip stitch. Oh, into a chain. There's one. I want this one. Oh. Come here. Yeah, right there. Yes, come to me, Luke Skywalker. Alright, there we go. And of course I lose it. That's okay. Like I tell everyone, there are no crochet police. No one will know. Alright, and so that's all you do for a granny square. So you just keep doing that over and over until it's the size you want. Most of the time, people will stop around 1, 2, 3, sometimes around 4 rows, sometimes around 5 rows. It just depends on how big you want the square. You stop when it's the size you want it. So, because we have started this one, and so we just need to learn how to maintain it, I'm going to put this one off to the side, and I'm going to grab this friend. This friend is a granny square that I've already started. Look at how big she is. Oh my goodness. She takes up my whole lot. That is going to end up being a cocoon like cardigan thing, like a oh, I don't even know the word for it. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out where I want to put my yarn bowl. Sorry for the noise. Okay. We'll just set it next to the mic. Nothing could possibly go wrong, right? Right. Grab a quick sip. Something to drink. There we go. All right. So, does everybody feel like they understand what's going on? Are we lost? Are we good to go? We having fun? I'm having fun. All right. So, this is just a giant granny square. It's many, many, many rounds large. I have just finished a corner. So now I chain 1 and I go into the next chain space. Believe it or not, that is a chain 1 space. It looks much larger with this yarn. I do my 1 cluster of 3 double crochets. By the way, let me know if you can't hear me or anything along those lines. And chain 1 and on to the next cluster. You just do that, like I said, until it reaches the size you would like. I'm really pretty sure if I move this, yeah, there we go. See that lump right there? That lump is my dog, right there. Hey, hey. Oh, that's his butt. I can't get him to show his face. Show your face. Show your face. Hello, face. That's Patches. Hi, Patches. He is sad because I am down in the basement. The basement is not comfy. The couch is comfy, not the basement. So, I'm gonna guess that everybody... Oh, Kristen! Sorry, kitty. No, we do not cry in the corner. I mean, maybe, sometimes. Sometimes we cry in the corner. But it's okay. No, we don't cry in the corner. We make tool clusters. Tool clusters for the corner. Oh, yeah, that's probably a good place for that. Let's see. Let's try putting it over there so it can be loud, not right next to the mic. We don't want that. By the way, this friend is Handycam. And this friend is Dave. And I have an actual microphone now, so I feel like a big girl. I'm a real girl. Sorry, adjusting my headphones. I don't have to wear those big bulky headphones I was wearing last time. Don't know if anyone here saw me last time or during my first stream, but I had big old headphones on. They were not, pardon me, very comfy after a while. Now I've got little earbuds. They are much more comfy. Because I don't need to hear really good quality. I just need to send really good quality voice. Right. So yeah, we're just making our clusters of 3 double crochets in each chain 1 space forever until the end of time. No, for this pattern, you go until you make the granny square 40 inches, which should be the right size for most women. Since this is a cocoon shrug, that's what they call it, a shrug. For my mother, though, she's a little bit bigger than I am. So, and I made this for myself. I made one of these for myself, and it was barely 40 inches, and it fits me just right. And so I'm going to go a little bigger than that. I'm going to go a total of, I think, 46 inches. And wouldn't you believe it, this is closer to 30 right now. So it's got a ways to go. So it's a perfect thing to work on during streams or whenever you're watching a movie or TV and trying to relax. You just make yourself a ginormous granny square until it's the size you want it. Alternatively, there are patterns out there for cardigans and blankets and whatnot that are made up of lots of granny squares. And so you just make lots and lots of the little ones. And you can change colors with those. Heck, you could change colors with this one too. I like solid colors more often, especially with granny squares, because I don't remember the 60s and 70s, but my parents do. My mom was not a fan of the granny square look. But everything comes back around, and people are fans of that black border with a bright, colorful center granny square, making up cardigans and purses and blankets everywhere. And all of them made out of acrylic yarn, so they last through the nuclear winter. That's my little rant about acrylic yarn over for today. I just need this yarn ball to be more cooperative. Such is life. So after we make about one round of this, I think, we will go over to the Rivers shawl that I'm working on and work on that. That one needs one of its wave rounds done. Sorry, rows, because it's back and forth. Rows, rounds, tomato, tomato. Some crochet pattern writers use it interchangeably, so I've gotten in that bad habit as well. Let me know if you're having trouble seeing what I'm doing. I've adjusted my setup. I found an old webcam from a PC that I had set up at one point, along with a little tripod for a GoPro that someone gave us long ago. And we have no idea why they gave us a GoPro. We have never expressed an interest in doing anything you might need a GoPro for. But here we are with a GoPro in our garage in one of those storage totes. Really need to let the husband know that the garage is not a good place for electronics. He needs to move that particular tote out. Put it somewhere a little more temperature stable, you know? But I digress. I digreg. I need to watch that guy's shorts again. His little TikToks and whatnot were always very fun. Poor Greg. So we're coming up on the next corner. It's almost there. So we'll just keep making our little clusters of 3 double crochets in the chain 1 spaces until we get to the corner. But yeah, so I set all of that up, and he's precariously balanced on the shoulder of my chair. The camera. With a little bit of rainbow sparkle duct tape on the back to try and keep him in place. Unfortunately, the rainbow sparkle duct tape is kind of old, so it's not doing a great job at holding him in place. But anywho, alright, so we're in the corner. We've got a chain 2. So we insert our hook and we make our 2 clusters of double crochets with a chain 2 space in between. 2, and then 1, 2, and 3. And that's the corner. Well done. Alright. So we are going to switch to the river shawl, and I will pull out my thingamabob here, my tray, to go there. Nope. There. Still haven't pinned it yet. Interesting. There. And not that one. Almost there. There we go. All right. I'll put up in the chat the Rivers Shawl pattern. There you go. And that is that for the granny square. See if we can gently move around a little without knocking Handy down. Let's see. Okay. Put that right there. Oh, I need that hook because the River's Shawl uses the same hook. Stay. Oh yeah, we're almost out of yarn for the River Shawl. Luckily, pardon me, excuse me, coming through, excuse me. Hi. We have more. Yay! Like I said last time, this shape of yarn is called skein, or skein, or skein. There's like 10 different ways to pronounce it. This particular skein is remixed by Barocco. It's slightly cheaper than the other Barocco yarns. You can usually find Barocco yarns at your local yarn store. And this one, the remix, is nylon, cotton, acrylic, silk, and linen, and it's all been recycled, which I think is pretty neat. So instead of putting more plastic out in the world, you're grabbing some of the stuff that maybe wasn't good enough to use, maybe has already been used, what have you, and you're using it for your projects. Okay, you have to be gentle. Whoop. Yeah, because we're undoing last stitch. Grab our hook. Last stitch. Looks like, oh, it was a single crochet. Okay. So we're just setting that one off to the side for now. The new skein. Just until we run out of this little bit. This goes that far, not very far. All right, so we are on row 6. Pretty sure. Let me get down into the pattern. There we are. Did row 3? Yeah, we're on row 6 because we are short. So with this one, it's making alternating waves. So you look down 2 rows, because you've made 2 rows of single crochets, and you look down and you see, aha, it is short over here. I must be making a tall row next. Or, ah, it is tall down here. I must be making the short row next. Simple. Right, so chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, counts as a treble crochet. Okay, skip the first stitch and then treble in the next stitch. Okay, so for those of us that don't know how to treble crochet, that's wrap around once, wrap around twice. We're skipping a stitch because the pattern asked us to. Go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2, go through 2, just like a double crochet, just an extra time going through 2. Now we chain 1 and we skip the first treble, chain 1, double crochet. Yes, okay, making sure. Double crochet. And this is the part of the stream where you get to hear me go double crochet, half double crochet, single, single, half, double, triple, triple, over and over and over again. Da, 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 da. All right. Single, single, half double, double, triple, triple again. So we do 2 triples and 2 singles, so the waves reach their crest equally to their valleys or something along those lines. I don't know. Half double, single, and single. Because I heard someone. Ah, okay. Neat. It's alright, just checking my other chats. Alright. There's 2 singles, so that makes this a half double, which is like if a single crochet and a double crochet had a baby. And then we double, and then we triple, I'll show you. Oh, and we run out of yarn. Okay, so because we ran out of yarn, we actually go back a bit to where you had 2 loops left on our hook, and then we try and find a needle. It's always fun. Where is the needle? Oh, we're getting vomit. Not the vomit, no. Come on, just. Pull out the vomit from your yarn. Usually this is the only time you'll get yarn vomit like this, is when you're starting a new skein. And you just keep pulling at it till you untangle it. And oh look, it's the end. Yay! Yay! Alright, and you just keep a little bit extra for weaving in later. Stick it next to its friend. Use it to complete the stitch. And then you just carry on like everything's normal. So now we have another triple. And there you go. So when I finish, I will have to weave in these ends and put braid and trim them. But I mean, that's what you gotta do. It's how I prefer to change yarns. It's really good for amigurumi as well, that method, unless you have to change colors, and then there's fancier ways of doing it that are a better idea. Go ahead and let me know, folks, if you want to see me make an amigurumi on stream. I can do that. Okay, so we're at the half double, and I told you I would show you how to make a half double. So you yarn over like you would for a double crochet. You go into your next stitch, pull up a loop like you would, but instead of pulling through two to make a double, you pull through all of them, like this was a single and you only had two, but this time you had three, and that's it. That's a half double. It sounds complicated, it sounds weird. It is neither. I mean, it's a little weird. I'm not gonna close that. Keep that open. Got a dry mouth for some reason today. A double. Triple. Another triple. And then a double. Double. Then a half double. Two singles. Two singles. Single like a Pringle. Pringle singles. I never understood single like Pringle because Pringles come in packs. They come in cans where there's a lot of them. How would you be single as a Pringle? I understand it rhymes. It rhymes great. It's not the rhyming I have a problem with. Anywho, that was a half double. That makes this double. Is this a triple? So the idea behind this shawl is that you are making these waves, and it looks really pretty, and they're interlocking with each other. And the best way to do waves is with crochets to make different size stitches, which is all we're doing. We're going from the shortest stitch to one of the tallest stitches. Triple is about as tall as most stitches get. Most people do not go beyond triple. Alright, that was one triple. Oh, was that two triples? Yes, that was. Okay. Double. Half double. Sorry if it's difficult to see. I know the lighting's not great. Pardon me. I just had lunch not too long ago. So, my tummy is loud. I got a loud tummy. Yeah. And then double. Let's see if we can scooch it down a little bit and make that easier to see. Yes, much better. Then triple. My dog is still at my feet, and every time I move, he gets all excited, like, "Mom, Mom, Mom, are we gonna move? Are we leaving? Are we done with this room? I don't like this room." He probably doesn't actually mind it. He just prefers the couch. He's an old man. 2 triples, double, half double. Yeah, we're still not quite where we're supposed to be on. See, this should be a single. And the next one should be a single as well. We're still not quite there. We're off a little. Hopefully we will straighten that out by the next time. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Alright, let's see. We've got a double. That means we are at triple. And then another triple. Okay. Single, half double, double, 2 triples, another double. Half double. So, like last time and the time before that, as soon as I'm done with this row, I will be much more talkative, much less focused on double, double, triple, double, double, half double, triple, double, and all that strangeness. Is that a... Hold on here. Nope, that was just a single. Oops. Oops. Oopsie doodle. We undid something because we weren't paying attention. That's what I get for running my mouth. Alright. Half double. Then a double. And then 2 triples. Two. Double. And then, oh, sorry, double, half double. Come on, we're getting smaller. Sorry, it's post lunch. That means it's nap time, right? Right. Ooh, ooh. Nope, still just a little off. Oh. Like I said, it'll probably be about right next row. Double. Triple. now all of a sudden I've got the Team Rocket little saying stuck in my head, but I can't remember how it starts. It's like, you're in for trouble, make it double. Something along those lines. Feel like I'm getting it wrong. Tell me in chat. What in the blue blazes am I smoking? No, not smoking. So if you've watched this before, you will notice that I have added more songs to my mix than I had before. I only had 4 songs before. Now I have 8. Yay! And they're all lo-fi, little royalty-free type things. I have put a link in the description to Chill Hop and letting you know that they provided the music. So if you want to listen to this stuff outside of my stream, head on over there. Give me a follow or a subscribe or a comment or I don't know, something. If you feel so inclined. And yeah. Let's just chill for a little bit. This is not one of those high energy streams. This is chill. We just chillax. I babble into the void. You know, it's fun. Let me know if the music's too loud for you. It's a little loud in my headphones, but I don't know if that's just me or not. Oh, wait. Hiya. There we go. Oh. Something happened. Oh, okay, are we back? Did I lose you for a second? Everyone okay? Okay. I seem to have been lost for a second. Such is life. Right. So, single. Oh. Nope, that's a half. That's single. So another half double. We're almost, what? Yeah. Got about a third of the shawl left of this double, half double silliness. And then we'll be able to just chill, not have to hear all the shenanigans I'm doing. Double and triple. That means you gotta yarn over twice, Liz. Yeah, yarn over twice. Alright. That was 2 triples, yeah. So now we're on double. Which makes this a half double. And 2 singles. Single 1. Single 2. And a half. So it's Wednesday, we're halfway through the week. How's everybody doing? We doing alright? We having fun at work, at home, at homework, what have you? Girl child is it's her last week of school and somehow she is swamped with homework. Not quite sure how that works. I don't know what her teachers are up to. I don't know what she's up to. Let's see. Wait a minute, that's a half? That, okay. Yeah, so this should be a double. Right? Single, single, half, double, triple, triple. Yeah, it's a double. Sorry, it's messed up the round below it, so it's not quite where it's supposed to be. So I can't just look at the row below to know which stitch I'm on, which is how it was for most of this, but then I messed it up, and so I'm trying to fix it without undoing it, which is the hard part. Double. Triple. Triple antibiotic, which is always fun stuff. Another triple, double, half double, sorry about that, my AC just kicked in. Lovely. Don't know if you can hear that huge fan noise. That's why I usually keep that door behind me shut. Is the door behind it is the utility room, the room that's got the furnace and all that fun stuff. So it's loud. But I forgot it did. I forgore. Double. Triple. Triple. Double. Half double, half double, single, single, half double, something went wrong. Because I'm supposed to get all the way up to the triple. Double, double. Sorry, single, single. Oh no, that's a half double. Single, single, half double. Well, you know what we'll do? Nope, not two chain. Chain one. We'll double crochet in the next stitch and chain one, then triple crochet here like you're supposed to, and then triple linen stitch, and then triple in the last, so you don't do chain one. Yeah. Oh, it is supposed to be a triple though, so we're gonna do all of that. There we go. Right, give me a second. I'm gonna readjust how I'm sitting. I'm a little uncomfortable. I've got this handy dandy footrest. Ooh, it's so loud. There we go. That we can try to use as long as we're not punching our dog or kicking our dog. There we go. Oh, we have apparently scared off the dog. My bad. Bitches. Come here. He's back. We disturbed his rest. Oh no, we disturbed his rest. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. That's enough distractions. Yeah. Never get distracted on stream. Yeah. 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 Right. So the next two rows, super easy, barely an inconvenience, as some people might say. You just single crochets all the way across. So it's much easier. I can talk to you a little more. Alright, so how is everyone? I know I've already asked once, but you know, no harm in asking again. We're doing okay. We're having a lovely Wednesday. Got any big plans for the weekend? Any big plans for next week? Anything like that? No? Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Our stitches define us. Go. So, you like my new setup? I like my new setup. It's much nicer than my old setup, which was just the camera that's looking at my face. So I had to adjust things so that you could see my hands, and it was a mess. But now we have a mic, we have a second camera, it's on a little tripod that I need to figure out a more secure way holding it in place. This is temporary. The rainbow glitter duct tape is temporary, I promise. Pardon. Maybe I'll keep it up all month. Te-ha-ha-ha. For the pride. For te-lols. Sorry, aging myself. It's been a while. Oh, hey, look at that. I've been streaming for an hour now. Yay! A whole hour. Only 2 more to go. Yay! So the idea with streaming for me is not to get rich and famous, but to have a hobby that maybe one day brings in a little money. The idea being that I'm already crocheting, might as well hang out with other people while I do it. And if there's a way to do that and make money at the same time, heck yes, let's do it. Now, I am not expecting to get rich. I'm not expecting to get famous. I'm not even expecting to, make a living at this. I just think that it would be nice to one day, have some supplemental income come in from this. That's it. Nothing crazy. One day, make a little bit of money off of this silly little hobby of mine. Maybe use it to buy more yarn. That is the hope. Buy more yarn. Yarn money. It's the best kind of money. The money you spend on yarn. Come on, you. There we go. So, I don't have any plans for the rest of the weekend, or the rest of the week, other than medical appointments. 'Cause I be broken. I'm a broken person. But just some medical appointments, and then no plans for the weekend. This weekend is free for me. We'll probably try to go out somewhere as a family. Me, my spouse, and our child. Teenage creature. And not spend too much money, but do something, have some fun, make some memories. We've been holed up in the house with each other too much. Haven't been doing fun things. So the girl child is beginning to resent all of the home time she would like outside the home time. A revolutionary concept. And because she's grounded right now, she can't even go on her phone or use her laptop or any of that fun stuff. So she really is getting stir crazy. So we'll go ahead and probably try and do something this weekend. Something inexpensive. Maybe head down to DC. Go see the Smithsonian or some such. Go look at museums. Just gave you a vague idea of where I live, Internet. They gasp. Please don't stalk me. I'm not that cool. Not even that pretty. Haha. I get it. Do you like my makeup? Put on just a touch of lip color and a touch of eyeliner to try and make my eyes look pretty, improve the overall look of my face, even though you're looking at my hands mostly. And apparently, I think that's one of my boobs. That's less than ideal. But anyhow, a little bit of makeup to help improve my appearance, so maybe more people want to watch me. Who knows? It also just feels, I don't know, like a little confidence boost to be wearing just a little bit of makeup. Just like, hey, I look pretty today, yay! Doesn't matter that I'm wearing yoga pants and a t-shirt. I feel pretty, yay! Gonna grab myself another sip of my drink here in a second. Lay parched. Had physical therapy earlier. So I mentioned last time I was on stream. I have a tendency to have bad posture, as you can probably see. And I like to crochet. And I like to crochet for hours and hours and hours. And unfortunately, crocheting for hours and hours and hours with poor posture has a tendency to, just mess up your arm a little. So that's what I'm seeing the physical therapist for, is to help my arm be less angry. Ooh, sorry about that. Speaking of which, stretching is good. Always take a break and stretch. Your body will thank you for it. There we go. And back to the single crochets. Yay! One day I'll be done with this pattern. One day. Probably not too long from now if I keep doing a few rows on it every time I stream. So what do you folks think? Do you like seeing me at this time of the day? Would you like to see me more often at this time of the day? Did you like the earlier time? It was 9:30 Eastern to 12:30 Eastern. So a nice lovely 3-hour long stream. But it's pretty early in the morning for the West Coasters. And it's during the workday, no matter which way I do it, for the East Coasters. And unfortunately, my evenings are full of spending time with my family, so I will not be going any later than maybe 4 in the afternoon here, Eastern time. So, if you'd like to see me these afternoons more often, go ahead and pop in the chat, let me know. Give me a like and a subscribe and all of that fun stuff if you haven't already. Just checking all my little screens and whatnot. There's a lot going on this end of the stream. I never realized how complicated this business is. It's like most things, much more complicated than it looks at first. Another thing that I like to do is work with leather, and I in fact have quite a bit of leather stuff down here and around the house in general. And so if you want to see me work on a leather project instead of crocheting, or in addition to crocheting, let me know. I would have to crochet first and then leatherwork, because leatherworking has a tendency to be very messy and get your hands dirty. So I would prefer to do one or the other in a stream, because I would need to set the camera up differently depending on what I'm doing. But yeah, let me know if you want to see me leatherwork, if you want to see me crochet, if you want to see me knit. I can knit, believe it or not. Cannot. Because knitting and crocheting is just making knots. Yeah, so I can knit, I can crochet, I can leatherwork. Let me know which one you'd like to see me do. I can do one stream and another one the next. Try and be a very crafty person. I love making things with my hands. Progress that you see as you're doing something, you can't compare it to anything else. You feel like you've actually accomplished something after you're done working with your hands. Especially making a creative project, you can physically see, like, aha, yes, I did 2 more rows or 3 more rows on that shawl, and you can see that the shawl is bigger now than it used to be, and so, haha, progress has been made, yes. Or, yes, there was a flat piece of leather here before, and now it is a dice bag. I can make dice bags. I can show you how to make dice bags on a stream. Got lots of patterns for those. Again, Pinterest, your best friend. Ravelry is great for crochet patterns and knitting patterns and anything along those lines. There's all kinds of needlepoint patterns on there. Not really sewing patterns, I don't think. But Pinterest, has a little bit of everything. And that's where I go to find most of my patterns. And you can find free patterns on there all the time for whatever craft you might suit your fancy. So I love going to Pinterest and just browsing around for patterns. I've got a few different projects for leatherworking that I have not finished or have not started. So you could watch me do that if you were so inclined. You could watch me knit. I've got a few knitting projects that I need to work on. Okay, I've got a lot of knitting projects I need to work on. Or I could just keep doing crochet projects. I counted I wrote a list of all the projects that I have. Just knitting and crochet projects. The list that I came up with earlier this year was 30 projects long. 30! That is too many. And I have started and finished other projects outside of those 30 since then. So it's wild. It boggles my mind. I didn't realize I had that many unfinished projects laying around. And that's, like I said, just the knitting and crochet projects. I can also cross stitch. I've got a few unfinished cross stitches laying around. I've got an unfinished leatherworking project. I've got so many journals that I've started and haven't finished. It's pretty bad. I'm supposed to be writing a novel. I have not finished writing that novel. I've barely started writing that novel. I've done a lot of the background information for the novel, a lot of the world building and whatnot. Not any chapters have been written. Not a single one. I am silly like that. I get what I call good idea fairies, where it's like, oh yeah, doing that would be a good idea. And we're done. And we've already forgotten about it, or lost interest in it, and we're done. Alright, we're going to not drop the hook. Did you see that? Caught it with my thighs. Thick thighs save lives, friends. Okay, we're going to try and crack our knuckles away from the mic. There's my matching tattoo that I have with my bestest friend in the whole wide world. I am Elphaba, and she is Galinda. Galinda. There's no Ga anymore. And so she has Galinda's wand, and it's pink on hers, and I've got Elphaba's hat. So believe it or not, I am not the talkative one between the two of us. She is, and she's even the perky one. There it is. I am the demure, low energy, prefers to wear black type of the two of us. It's mind-boggling. And I do prefer to wear black and green. Green is one of my favorite colors to wear. Purple is another favorite color of mine, but I don't like them together. Too much Joker, too much Barney. Ugh, no good. No dice. Alright, so we are going to... I wonder what that button does. What that button is about. Oh, I think I know what that button is doing. Okay. Alright. So we've stretched a little, shake out our hands, release some tension. Alright, and back to crocheting. We're about an hour and a half through the stream, and we just gonna keep plugging away. We're gonna do one more row of this, and then we'll probably move to the granny rectangle that I've got over there. So chain one, and a single crochet, and away we go. Trying to make sure my hands stay in view of the camera. They like to move around a lot and just wander off, do their own thing. Own heckin' program. I try not to cuss too much. don't know who's watching, don't know if they're watching with their kids, all that fun stuff. Keep this wholesome. Keep it wholesome. Keep it PG. Not even PG-13. No, PG. So why not? There's not enough PG things in the world these days. We're asking our kids to grow up too quick, I feel. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. But it's how I feel. Anyhow. So, yep, this shawl slowly but surely getting done. Thanks to you, kind viewers, for watching me tediously work while away my hours crocheting. Sorry, I got caught up in my own thoughts for a second. So yeah, we're just making single crochets, 2 rows of them here on this shawl, and then once that's done, we will have finished row 8, and so we will have to put another stitch marker at the end of this row to show us how many times we've completed row 8. This pattern wants us to complete row 8 a total of 8 times. Look at that. And so once I do that, then I just do rows 3 through 5 one last time, and the pattern is done. Yay! Until then, boo, we are crocheting into infinity and beyond. Alright, so like I said earlier, let me know if you can hear me alright, let me know if you can't. Let me know if the music's too loud, all that fun stuff. If I'm wandering out of frame with my hands, as I like to do. If the yarn is making a weird noise because it's close to the mic, I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if you hear anything weird. Ooh, we have lost our... There we go. A specific way I like to hold my yarn, and unfortunately it undoes itself sometimes. Did it again. Alright, so tell your friends about me if you've got any friends that you think might enjoy this sort of thing, just chillaxing, listening to me babble. I thoroughly encourage anyone and everyone to go ahead and hop in the chat and talk to me so I don't feel like I'm babbling into the void. So if there's something you want to talk about, let me know. I'll chat with you. We can have fun that way. Yeah. Almost done with this row. No, never mind. Just barely started this row. Never mind. So yeah, so probably gonna go hit up a museum or two this weekend. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe go bowling instead. I don't know. What do you think I should do this weekend with my family? It's a good family activity to do with a teenager. She's not a particular fan of bowling. The husband and I are. We could go to an arcade. We could go to a museum. We could do mini golf. It's probably going to be warm this weekend because it's warm today. And so, don't really want to do anything outside. But there's plenty to do inside around here. So what are some of the things you like to do during the summer? Pardon me. What do you like to do with the family? Do 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 do. My best friend is going to be a licensed therapist soon. I'm so proud of her. Shout out to Kitty. She's going to be a marriage counselor soon. Or a couples counselor. You don't have to be married. And so I'm so proud of her. We both met while we were in the military, and she voted and I lost. She decided she wanted to take me out to pancakes for breakfast. Her and another friend of hers. We had a short day, and so she was like, hey, let's go out and go to an IHOP. And junior sailors are always hungry, and so we both agreed, and she decided this one's going to be my friend. So she voted and I lost. Because I wasn't quite sure about her yet. I thought she might be stuck up. Nope. One of the least stuck up people I've ever met. Very nice lady. So I'm very proud of her. Very glad that she gets this opportunity to... Pardon me, I'm just gonna take the focus off my boobs for a second. She gets this opportunity to do something she really enjoys. She's really good at it. So, couldn't be prouder. I'm just a bum. I sit around my house. I don't do anything all day. Ugh. She's out here getting degrees and helping the world be a better place. I'm playing with yarn on the internet. Nah. I'm happy with where I'm at too. Glad that I've got this opportunity to do this with you. That I'm financially stable enough that I can play with yarn on the internet for no money. So anywho, my hands are all messed up. It's hard to see. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So, as I mentioned, I went to physical therapy earlier today. Oh, there's a bug in here now. Great. And now my arms are sore. I am sad. It's sad, Panda. Sad panda, all sore. Now I'm crocheting for like 3 hours straight. Self-imposed. Let me know if you can still see everything okay, or if I need to adjust things and whatnot. I might set up a lamp in here or something to try and get better light going so you guys can see what I'm doing better. So right now I just have an overhead light and then sunlight. The sun is being capricious today and running in and out of clouds. Yeah, that's right. I said capricious. Look it up, kids. Ask your parents what it means. So, almost done with this row. Gonna have to find, stretch my stitch markers again. Should probably just leave them out so that I don't have to keep looking for them every time. Is there a time of day or a day of the week that you'd like to see me do this stuff? Time that works best for you. Let me know. Go ahead and type it up in chat or write a comment or some such. Send me a whisper if you're on Twitch. Give me a follow if you're on Twitch. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. All that fun stuff. That's right. I'm streaming to both of you at the same time. Haha. Broaden my audience, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, just chilling, crocheting a shawl. Pretty soon we'll be working on my dog's blanket again. This blanket's getting pretty big. Excited. I might not keep going after I run out of that yarn. I'm not sure. We'll see where it ends, where I feel like it needs to end. If that makes any sense. Like if it ends in the middle of the row, and then it'll be tough for me to decide, should I go back? Should I undo it and just cut it off? Or should I attach new yarn and try and finish out the row and then like do a border? I don't know. We'll come to that bridge. We'll burn that bridge when we cross it. Type thing. Sorry, it feels like I'm being stabbed. I'm gonna move around a little bit. Ugh. There you go. Oh, I gotta move this way so I talk to the mic. That's important. Yeah, talk to the mic so that he can hear you. If he can't hear you, nobody can hear you. And the mic that I got is specially tuned so that it picks up what is being said straight in front of it best. Not all around it, just straight on. in like a cone. So because the interwebs said that's the best kind of microphone if you're just talking. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just talking. In other news, pretty soon here I will be playing Daggerheart on stream. Not sure quite where we will stream it or when that stream will start, but I will be one of the players in that stream. So if you enjoy the dulcet tones of my voice, go ahead and tune into that. I will put up a link to that when I get it, as soon as I know when and where. Well, I know kind of when. I know we'll be live streaming on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. I do not know which Tuesday we're starting. I just know that next Tuesday we're meeting each other over video call. We've already met over text on Discord. We haven't met over video call or in real life. Alright, that's the end of that row. We're gonna try and scooch around in here and not knock anything over. Haha, victory. Oh, hey, look, it's still open. Excellent. Grab the big creature. Put this right there. And go ahead and attach this creature right here, so we know we completed another row. Yay! We've completed row 8 again. So that is, let's see, 2, 3, 8 once, twice, 3, 4, 5 whole times. So just 3 more times of rows 3 through 8, and then one last time of rows 3 through 5. Pardon me. Had to get a drink. Alright. That is it for the shawl for now. We are going to pull up the blanket, drop the shawl where the blanket was, find beginning wherever we left off. Looks like we left off where did we leave off? Oh, we got twisted. Okay, I see what we did. I see what we did. Sorry, I had to bring it down. So this is a granny rectangle. It's just like a granny square, but it got started slightly differently. So it made a rectangle instead of a square. Same general principle though. So I'm in a corner. So I do one cluster, chain 2, make another cluster. And because this is much bigger yarn, I'm using a much bigger hook. Pardon me, sorry. That was a chain, sorry. That was a yarn sized 4 before. This yarn is size 6. And that hook was a size 6. And now this hook is was 6 millimeters. This one is 8 millimeters. So just a skosh bigger, which is part of why this whole project is huge and why it's a good blanket, not a good shawl. You've got bigger yarn like this. It's more squishy, it's more heavy, it's more bulky. Hence its name. It's usually called bulky yarn. So you end up with an end product that is heavier and thicker, so not as fun to wear, but great for a blanket. So these thicker yarns usually used to make blankets or really thick sweaters. If you want a thick sweater and you want to make it fast, thicker yarn. That's all it takes. Sorry if my hook is squeaking. She is not always kind to me. And with this acrylic yarn, it squeaks. It's just what it does. I will forever apologize for it because I'm sure it's annoying to hear for other people. I can't hear it. I've got headphones and I can only hear the music. Haha. Lucky me. Can't even hear my own voice, actually. Well, I mean, I can hear my voice the way that we all can always hear our voices. We can't hear the mic. Can't hear what's coming out of the mic. Which is probably for the best. I would get caught in a feedback. Just explode. I would explode. Anyhow. So yeah, so this is just like a granny square, just made into a rectangle instead of a square. And it's going to be a nice big squishy blanket for the couch my dog is going to lay on. The little boy who is at my feet. Somewhere down there. Somewhere down there is my dog. Sorry, my shoulders are stiffening up on me. So, there we are. We will be, once this is finished, it will not get a nice little border. It will just get finished off. Any and all ends will get woven in. And it'll get thrown on the couch for the dog. And because he is old, we feel he will appreciate the squishiness of it, and he will not tear it the way he tore out blankets when he was younger. He was a little rough with his things when he was younger. He would tear open toys. He would tear open anything that had stuffing in it. So if you gave him a dog bed, he would tear a hole in it and pull the stuffing out. Really had a vendetta against stuffing. Don't know why. So yeah. But he's older now, so if he paws at it to like get it in the position he wants, that shouldn't mess this up. This should be robust enough, sturdy enough to handle that kind of treatment. Crochet is not that delicate, especially when you're doing stuff with thicker yarns. Really not very delicate. You have to wash it on delicate because the agitation will cause it to pill. Like you'll get these little round balls of fluff on your crocheted object, and if the person who made it did not weave in their ends very well, it could unravel because an end slips out and then gets caught on something, and then you just got a ball of yarn in your washing machine now. So that's why we don't wash our bras with our crocheted items. Fun fact, bad idea. Because of the hooks of the bra will get caught on the crocheted stuff and unravel it. But other than that, it's pretty sturdy. So it's okay to make stuff for your dogs. And as long as they're not chewing on it, it'll be alright. And if you want, you can make stuff for dogs out of cotton yarn instead of acrylic, so that if they do chew on it, it'll break down in their stomach easier. Not necessarily well, but easier than if it had been acrylic, because acrylic, remember, is just plastic, and plastic does not break down in tummies or anywhere really. Right, it looks like we've reached the end of this row. Or round, or what have you. So we're going to do the that and the that to get the thing into the thing with the other thing. So I was watching a TED Ed video last night with my husband. It was a quick little tiny quiz about the Roman Empire and what do you really know about Rome type stuff, you know, beyond the "are you not entertained" of Gladiator. And it was funny. There were 4 questions and we got 3 out of the 4 right. The only one we got wrong was the one about when did the Roman Empire fall, because according to them it's hard to say exactly when it fell, while most people agree upon a certain date, and so we guessed that date because that's the most agreed upon answer. So, because it was 2 truths and a lie. So it was you had to pick out the bit of false information from the 2 bits that were true. And so it was fun. I enjoyed it. And I was like, yeah, we're awesome. And he's like, well, I mean, you already knew who the goddess that was introducing the video to us was and what her pantheon was before she even explained herself, so, you know, it's a good start. Like, yeah, you know. What can I say? I'm a fan of ancient Greek deities, and I know most of their Roman counterparts. I have a similar fascination with Norse pagan deities. Notice I'm not calling these myths. There's a difference between a myth and a religion. And because a lot of people are reviving these religions in various and sundry ways, it's considered rude these days to call, say, the Celtic deities and the stories about them Celtic mythology, or Greek mythology, or Roman mythology. Nope. They're all religions, and they're all very complicated, and yes, like, what has survived is more myth than perhaps truth. But that doesn't mean that we can't find out and revive these things and bring them back into the present. So that's that little soapbox. Pardon me, I'm just gonna stretch here for a little bit before our final hour. So my arms, shoulders are really tight from physical therapy, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, on to more exciting news. My character that I'm making, or that I have made, for the campaign that I will be streaming with some strangers from the internet. So there are a lot of people these days that play role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games, like Dungeons and Dragons, or Pathfinder, or Call of Cthulhu. They play them online through things like Discord and Google Meet and Zoom for the purposes of the video call with each other, so that we can all see each other's shining, smiling faces, and therefore know when to talk and when someone else is about to talk, because that's always frustrating. Right? You ever been on a conference call at work and everyone's like, oh, sorry, sorry, no, you go first. No, you go first. Yeah, it's super annoying. Happens in the gaming community as well. So, gaming in this instance, talking about tabletop role-playing gamers. But anyhow, so we do that as well, and because we're awkward, like, it's just terrible. So, video calling, it works best. Sometimes people do just audio, but video, I prefer video. Anyhow, so, if you've heard of Dungeons and Dragons, then it's possible that you've played Dungeons and Dragons. And if you've played Dungeons and Dragons, then you have probably heard of a group of people that play online and stream their gaming sessions as podcasts, or they've done like live shows and all kinds of fun things called Critical Role, with their DM being Matt Mercer. There's another one that's called Dimension 20. There's Dungeons and Daddies. There's all kinds. And so what they do, Critical Role, is they all physically get together and they play at the same table with each other with mics in front of each of them because they're all voice actors. And they voice act at each other as they role play, which is fun. Great idea. Fortunately, if you're not physically close to your friends, or you don't have friends that are physically close enough for you to play a role-playing game, then you're kind of SOL. So, the internet is a great and mighty thing, and it allows people to meet up with each other through various and sundry forms. And so I found out that Critical Role was making their own role-playing game based on Dungeons and Dragons and other things, and that that they were publishing it soon, and it's called Daggerheart. I thought, oh cool, I love role-playing games. I love Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu and Pathfinder and you name it, I've probably played it. Monster of the Week, Vampire the Masquerade, all that fun stuff. Vaesen. So I bought a copy of the rules for Daggerheart once they were released. I actually got a limited edition copy of the core set on the day that it came out. So, woohoo! That was a lot of money. A lot of money. But I feel it was worth it. It came with pretty dice. It came with prettier versions of the cards that the game has. It came with a pretty version of the book. And it all came in this, like, giant slipcase type creature that doubles as a box to hold all of it. Pardon me. And all of this is to say, I hopped on to Discord later that night looking for people to play Daggerheart with. And I found that Daggerheart's publisher, Darrington Press, has their own Discord server, and so I jumped in there and I found a lot of people advertising for their Start Playing games, which are games hosted by the website Start Playing, where you pay the DM money for every session that you play with them, and in exchange the DM's supposed to be pretty good and provide all of the materials that you need to play outside of an internet connection and whatnot. Indeed. Another Russian link. Yeah, totally. I'm gonna click that. No, don't click anything. Don't click things, friends. That's a trap. Yeah. So, started playing on a game with a group on Start Playing, and I found out, and then I saw someone post up in the Darrington Press Discord that they were looking for people who were willing to stream, to join a group that would be streaming their games. I thought, I have a very expressive face. It's very loud. I have lots of emotions. They show on my face. And I can do silly things with my voice and all of that fun stuff. I'm not a professional voice actor, I'm not a professional actress. I'm just a weirdo with a very loud face. And so I was like, I could do that. So I messaged the individual in question, and my enthusiasm won him over to letting me join. And yay! So we've been talking over Discord, me, the DM, and the rest of the party. And so that's how we've met, because we're all geographically far apart from each other. Most of us are on the East Coast, somewhere. But one of us is operating off of Chicago Central Time, so that puts them an hour behind us, which is fine. And so through our discussions, we found that Tuesdays at 8 p.m. is the best time for us, and for all of us. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play probably over video. So probably the DM will record our his side of the Google Meet that we all join, and share his screen for a website called Roll20, which will have the map and the dice rolling apps that we use. And, or if we use dice rolling apps, I've got the physical dice, and my character had to be made on actual paper instead of digitally. So I might be rolling actual physical dice as opposed to using random number generators that are known nowadays as dice rollers. Because one, I don't trust RNGs. Ooh. Sorry, that was a little puppy dream. My little old man is having dreams down at my feet. So I don't trust programming. I've done it, and my husband has done programming, and so we both know that there are flaws in every code. So no matter how well you try and program your random number generator, it's probably not going to be as random as you think it is, because you're going to have to give it rules. And those rules are going to limit how random it can be. So I prefer physical dice. And luckily the DM doesn't mind me rolling physical dice, because he believes that me and the rest of the party will be truthful about our rolls, and if we're not, he'll pick up the hint. He'll notice, and then everybody will have to use the random number generators. So it is within each of our best interest not to cheat, to keep it nice for everyone. You know? I feel like that's nice. I feel like that's a good idea. So we're gonna do that. So that'll probably be on Twitch, live as we're doing it. Like I said, Tuesday nights at 8. Not next Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be the first time we meet. But sometime after that. Either the next Tuesday after that, or very probably the second Tuesday from then, because we're going to be doing it every other Tuesday. Our DM is a very busy person and cannot always be free on Tuesday nights for now. the dream is to, yes, be free every Tuesday night and play every Tuesday night eventually, but we're not in that spot yet. So yeah, so we'll be playing. The character that I came up with, surprise, surprise, is a warlock. If you know me, you know how much I love to play warlocks. So she is an elven noble that was betrothed to the prince of the nation she lives in, and she is very tall, as elves are, and has a pretty set of dragonfly wings that are vestigial. She can't use them to fly. She's got them from her pixie ancestry, her fae ancestry, and way back in the day. And he's a very petty, very, very shallow kind of guy. I'm wondering if I'm playing the same song over and over again. Sorry. Feels like I am. I'm probably just going crazy. Yeah. So he's a very vain person, and he is a dwarf. We're not going for the, like, Tolkien-esque elves and dwarves hate each other type dynamic. We're going for this particular this particular dwarf is a jerk, and he does not like the fact that his fiancée is taller than him and has pretty wings. He wants pretty wings, or something similar that's flashy, and to make him look better than her, and because he knows that's not possible, he broke off his engagement with her. And he says publicly that the reason is that he wanted to marry another girl whose family is in a better political position for him to marry her, so that it's better for the kingdom. And yes, it is true. The new fiancé is better politically positioned right now than my character's family. But that does not change the fact that my character is quite upset. And this puts her family in a precarious position. They rose to prominence very recently as nobles, and this marriage was going to secure their place as, like, top tier nobles. And with the wedding being called off, that puts that position in jeopardy. In fact, it kind of knocks them back down to the bottom of the pecking order. So my character made a pact with a celestial entity. She prayed to the gods for assistance, and the goddess of marriage and the hearth, who is different than the goddess of love. And if you know your Greek deities, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hera and Aphrodite are very different women, very different goddesses. An angel in the service of this goddess contacted my character and was like, yeah, sure, we'll grant you power and protection and all that fun stuff. You just have to punish those that are unfaithful. And my character was like, man, like that sounds like exactly like what I want to do. So yeah, sure, let's do this. And that's where the adventure starts. Shortly after my character has decided to become a warlock. So that's fun. So I've made a mock-up of her in Hero Forge, which is a website where you can make minis, have them 3D printed and mailed to you, custom miniatures for your characters. But it works really well as like a portrait maker because you just, oh yes, I need this color skin tone and this shape of the face and these clothes. It's like making an avatar on, you know, or making a character in an RPG. You just pick the traits you want from the list of options, and you end up with something that looks pretty close to what you were imagining. So I have that picture of her, and when our group gets up and going, we're talking about commissioning an artist to actually draw each of our characters for us. But that is a future problem, not a now problem. Let's see. Oh, that says 17. Okay. My eyesight's gone wonky on me today, so I'm having trouble reading my clock. So yeah, so that's our plans. There's another character in the party that's going to be her bodyguard, and then someone else is talking about making a essentially knight of the goddess that is devoted to the goddess of love, not marriage. And so we will have to see how that plays out, how our characters get along. There should be a little tension there, which I think should be fun to role play out. And last but not least, one person is making I think they're a fighter type or a rogue type, a thief type, I can't remember. Pretty sure it's a fighter. Nope. Wait. Sorcerer. He's a sorcerer. I was completely off. So a magic caster that's not a wizard. That is half dragon, half goat person, half satyr, which is a thing you can do in Daggerheart. You can take any two of the heritages, ancestries, whatever you want to call them, and smush them together, and there's rules on how you can smush them together, and you end up with your own unique heritage that, you know, maybe there are others like you, maybe, you know, you're a one-off. That's up to you and your DM. So he was having trouble naming this dragon satyr hybrid, and he was thinking leaping lizard because the goats, the satyrs, are able to jump really well in Dire Heart. And I was like, yeah. Or bearded dragon. And he was like, oh, that is so much better. I was like, yes, good. So that's what he's nicknamed his heritage is. He's a bearded dragon. That should be fun. That should be interesting to play with as well. And let me know if you'd rather hear me talk about crocheting than role-playing stuff. Realize that this is titled for crocheting. Here I am rambling on about role-playing games. So, let me know if that's not your thing, if that's not what you want to hear about. It's almost 2:30 my time, which means it is almost time for me to call it a day. So at 3 o'clock my time, at the top of the hour, call it a day. And that'll be 3 hours since I started. So go ahead, if you haven't already, give me a like, a subscribe, a follow, what have you. Say hey in the chat. Whatever you feel like. Whatever you can do. Yeah, and let me know if there's something you want to see next time. If there's something I did this time that you don't want to see. You want that gnat to go away. Just let me know. Go ahead and say something in chat. Or don't. It's all good. So, yeah. So, I have a feeling... let's see. Oh, nope. I still got a ways to go before I finish another round. So, that's good. Yeah, I should probably move my hands down. Blocking myself. There we go. Alright. So, have we given any thought to what we want to do this weekend? What are we doing? We going bowling? We going out and playing mini golf? We seeing a museum? What are we doing? What do we feel like doing this weekend, folks? Anything? Nothing? Cool. Doing nothing is fun too. We probably have some errands we should run this weekend. That sort of thing. You know, it's interesting. My left hand is actually more tired this time than my right. My right hand is usually the one that gets tired faster. Not today. Not today, Isis. Pardon me. Sorry, that came from the deep. You need it out. There's fluff flying in the air. Keeps getting on my nose. All right. Hands down. Spot. My face is so itchy. It's that time of year. Everything's in bloom. So everything is just making me itchy. Stretch a little. I'm going to take a quick little break and just check out what's going on over here. Do, do, do. Click. 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 Oop. Nope. Stop it. Okay, that's that. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Closing tabs. What is that? Okay. Boop. 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 And then another boop, and a boop over here, and a boop over there, and boop, 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 boop. Okay. Close that. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just needed a quick little breather. Check out our hands. Let's get ready for this last stretch. Get ready for the home stretch. Last little bit. 30 more minutes. Okay. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that. See that? That is yarn burn. It's like rope burn. but from yarn. And I hold my yarn on this specific way every time I do either crochet or knitting. So I always, sorry there's a gnat, I always have yarn burn in those spots. Always. So I've gotten used to it. My fingers barely feel that now. There's like, I don't know, it's just dead right there. There's not much feeling. But I gotta restore circulation to that. As well, it doesn't feel bad. I know that it means that like there's not as much circulation as there should be on that part of my finger. It's one of the hazards of crocheting for a long time. Maybe I should only crochet for 2 hours during a stream and then either call it a day at that point and then have more streams, or I just add another 3-hour stream. 3 hours is rough. There's a lot of articles that say like 3 to 5 hours, 3 to 5 times a day, 3 to 5 times a week. It's a good way to get more viewers. Dang, if that isn't hard. That's hard. That is hard to do. Especially when you're crocheting, doing something physical, as opposed to playing a video game. Though I imagine playing a video game for 3 hours might be difficult too. Depends on the video game. It's like I can play Stardew Valley for like 3 hours straight and like not have any problems. Alright. So yeah, so how we feeling, chat? How we doing? Where are we? How we feeling? How we doing? Let me know what's going on. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Okay, stop. Sorry, I'm looking at something. I just do not feel like crocheting for this last half hour. My hands are tired. Look, I'm hypermobile. My fingers do weird things. Blech. Gross. Gross. How dare fingers do that? I'm wondering who this one lonely little person is. Boop. We see it. What did you? Ooh. There was like infinite loop of myself watching myself. It was just terrifying. Don't like it. Yeah. Alright. So since I've only got one of you and I am very tired, I am going to go ahead and call it quits here. So it's been lovely. I enjoyed talking with everyone that showed up. Go ahead and give me a follow before I head on out, or a subscribe if you're on YouTube. All that fun stuff. Let me know what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, and I'll see you, let's see, probably